Good day YouTube, today is a build video. I wish to make some amendments to my crit stamina sorc build. Now ever since the last update, I have encountered some challenge and some difficulty when I face up to MagSorcs in a PvP context, right? The magical sorc is now doing pretty well, their shields are formidable and their crushing shock is very annoying. So with that in mind, I wish to make some changes, having thought about it to optimize my current build a little bit further. I'm not going for the wholesale change. There are a lot of build videos out there that can tackle this, but I just want to make small renovations to my current setup so that on the fly I can quickly go back to PvP and enjoy again, and with some little tweaks I can do better than before. So that's what this build video is all about and where this is coming from. I'm sticking to 1 bar because a 2 bar build at the current moment still does not work for me with my latency and all that. I do not like bar swapping, so I will stick to my Oaken Soul, and I will not change my gear set that I'm currently using. Belllock for monster set, Aldous Wrath for my 5-piece, and then Agility for my 3-piece set. So all these things still remain the same, right? The only change, and the first one that I have to make obviously, would be to swap out my dual wield double X for the destruction stuff, my Inferno stuff. So I'm going to choose Inferno because it just do more damage on the individual level against a single target. I'm sticking with Sharpened. I think Nirnhone is good as well. And with that in mind, right, let me go to my skills. With the usage of the Inferno stuff, it makes sense for me to just swap out my Silver Shards and stick to Crushing Shock. Crushing Shock is very useful right now because status effects are meta, and also because a lot of people are playing MagSorc at the current moment. So there are a lot of spellcasters just running around the area in the PvP zones. So this is going to be very good to stun them, and then that just buy you precious time when you trade blows and stuff like that. So once I use Crushing Shock, it starts to tap into my Magicka pool. So one thing lead to the next. I would then have to relook at allocating my attribute points from stamina to Magicka. The previous layout that I used to have was 44 points for stamina because I was a Stam Sorc previously. So switching 44 points over to Magicka would then increase my Magicka pool. That makes sense. And then I would start to relook at some of my gear set. I'll just rotate them slowly so you can see. I'm changing them to 3 light, 2 medium, and 2 heavy. More light armor is basically just good for magical based users, right? Because it's just more friendly for your magical pool resource. And at the same time, for some of my gear I have, which is not multi-effect enchantment, I have changed them from maximum stamina enchantment to maximum Magicka. So you do what you need to try to get as much Magicka as possible. 29k is still not ideal. I think if you go above 30, it is always good. I can probably look at just reducing my stamina a little bit and having more Magicka. But currently, with this setup, I am getting pretty good results. So I'll just stick to this for now. For champions points itself, right, I actually haven't made any changes because my champion points basically is to look at increase in spell damage, crit damage, and also survivability, increase in movement, and under negative status effects, I get some buffs and some advantages. So these things remain largely unchanged. I don't think I have to make any adjustments to that. Right. Last but not least, this video is really about just making a quick change and one thing leading on to the next, right? Essentially, it's just changing the weapon, getting Inferno Staff of Agility and taking it from there. When I switch back to Destro Staff, it brings back lots of good memories because I can now light attack from a distance and all these attacks will land on my target most of the time, as opposed to my Dual Wield X, which is basically just short range. When I am in a long range, the weaving, the momentum of the light attack weaving with Crushing Shock just feels a lot better, and my ultimate also regenerates faster. So this was how I used to play a long time ago as a MagSorc, and it feels really good to go back to that place again, right? I think I've been a Stam Sorc for way too long and I'm enjoying this current gameplay now. I think ultimately every change with the update will cause a little bit of annoyance at the start when you feel like you have to change your gear set and you have to relook your rotations and stuff like that. But once you get into the nitty-gritty of it and just make minor adjustments and get positive results, the curiosity is back and I'm enjoying PvP again in a new way. I think ultimately that is what Zorz want all of us to experience, so that the game has some new thing to offer after every single update, right? So without further ado, I'll just leave you with some of my gameplay and I'm having some fun with this. I will probably make some more PvP related videos in this particular direction and vector. I hope you enjoyed this and this is just useful for your research purpose and stuff. I see you guys in the next video. Have fun in Tamriel, every one of you, and goodbye.